Ladies and gentlemen, we present for your possible entertainment and doubtful education a play based on an epic masterpiece. Thrill to adventures in strange parts, wonder at the sounds of exotic locations, and tremble as our cast walks a dangerous tightrope between comedy and catastrophe. We give you 80 days around the world.
Hello, my name is Passepartout. I come from a very old and proud family. Our name is also our motto. We get through anything. And it was my having got through Olive's brandy and two of Lord Ponsonby's daughters that led to my sudden re-emergence onto the London job market. And so I went along to a recruitment agent.
Good morning. Now, to establish the sort of person you would be most suited to service, I need to ask you a few questions.
Very well.
Can you shave a gentleman?
Oh, yes, I can.
Can you try a triple Windsor?
But of course.
Can you retrieve an orange from the windpipe of a man hanging from the chandeliers by his fishnets?
No.
I see. No politicians. Can you carry an inert body secretly out of the house via the servants' exit and dump it in one of the municipal parks so that it wakes up with no memory of what happened?
Still no.
Aha. No royalty. Well, that doesn't leave a lot, but I think I have an opening you'd be good for. Try this address, and I'll tell them I sent you.
Thank you. I read the card. It was a gentleman's calling card, and it said,
Phileas Fogg, 2 Savile Row, London. We don't do suits, so please don't ask.
And with that, I went around to Savile Row, interested to see what sort of house it would be. I came across a grand affair in the middle of the street, and I stood admiring it for a while. But then someone came and poured a bucket of water onto the pair of them, so I went up the stairs and rang the bell of number 2.
Who the bloody hell is this? I don't know, coming around this time of the morning. I should just open the letterbox and stick my... Good morning, sir. Mr. Fogg's residence. Whom shall I say is calling?
Good morning. My name is Passepartout. I'm his new valet.
Right, you're my replacement. Well, good luck to you, mate. I'm off. I am free at last. Free of that tyrant, that nitpicking, stuck-up, hair-splitting snob. Free of his endless complaining and abuse. Free of his web of intrigue and lies. Free, do you hear me? Free! Free!
I began to wonder if maybe I'd made a mistake taking this job, but I squared my shoulders and marched on in. Hello? Is there anybody here?
Ah, you must be my new manservant. Fogg's the name, Phileas Fogg.
Pleased to meet you, sir. My name is Passepartout.
A Frenchman, eh?
Oh, why, yes. How did you know?
You're wearing your rucksack on both shoulders. I trust you'll do a better job than the last chap.
Can I ask the reason for his dismissal?
Well, usually I wear a South American orchid as a floral display in my buttonhole. We have a selection from various countries in the hothouse, and I asked him to give me a Brazilian. I won't tell you what he did, but I feel the cold keenly these winter mornings. Now, I want this place cleaned from top to bottom, and you can start with the stag's head on the wall. Been in my family for generations. Needs a good polish. All right, carry on.
And with that, he departed to his club, whilst I dutifully stayed at home and carried on with his old dear.
Some minutes later, Mr. Phileas Fogg is in a cab on his way to the Reform Club in Pall Mall.
Cab driver, where on earth are you going, man?
Oh, sorry, Governor. There's a cart up ahead being pulled by a donkey that shed its load.
Don't they usually carry a bucket for when that sort of thing happens?
No, sir. I mean, everything has fallen off the wagon. Oh, we'll have to go the long way around.
Oh dear. A different route means new dangers.
Quite so, Nanny, quite so.
Look at my poor Uncle Rupert. He decided to go down Oxford Street for a change, crushed by a falling piano.
A tragedy, Nanny, a tragedy.
And Cousin Remus went home via Soho one day. He was never the same again.
Yes.
And then, of course, your own dear father, killed by a barge up the Macclesfield Canal.
I am well aware of the dangers of travel, Nanny.
I don't understand why you have to go to your silly club anyway. We have everything you could want at home. It makes Mr. Pootle very sad when you go away.
I am 37 years old, Nanny, and quite frankly, Mr. Pootle can go and...
Whoa!
I say, driver, are we taking us via Yokohama?
We'll be there in a minute, sir. Just a minor detour. Oh, look, there's the club up ahead.
What are all these flags for?
Oh, it's International Friendliness Week. They have a host of visiting foreigners hanging around the place. They're serving us these ghastly German saveloys as part of their October tradition.
Oh, a sausage fest. I might have to pop in and have a look.
I don't think they take very kindly to that. They're not all struck on women.
Oh, here we are, Governor, here we are.
No!
Rightio, well, see you later, Nanny.
Chapter 2, and the scene shifts almost furtively to the smoking room of the Reform Club on Pall Mall. Following an amazing Teutonic luncheon, some of the most powerful men in England now gather round the card tables to discuss their doings over a rubber or two.
Ah, hello, Smythe. Who's that you've got there?
Aha, gentlemen, may I introduce one of our international guests? This is Monsieur Jules Verne, the celebrated author of such great classics as 20,000 Weeks in a Balloon, Rocket to the Centre of the Earth, and From the Moon and Back Again. Mr. Verne, this is Horatio Goodbody, Secretary of State.
Hello? What?
Ah, Phileas Fogg, one of our most regular members, not missed a day here for some 14 years.
Hello.
And, oh yes, our fellow writer, Hermes Aphrodite, author of such books as One of Each, and same to you, but at least I can.
How do you do?
So, books, what? Working on a new one, Mr.
Well, monsieur, yes, I have had a wonderful idea this very morning. They say the completion of the Trans-India Railway line means you can now circumnavigate the globe in 80 days.
80 days? Crazy notion, these French fellas. World's not to be travelled that lightly, you know. More things out in the world that can affect precise timings, schedules and whatnot, than you could possibly imagine. Why, once, when I was in
Anywho, I am thinking that would make a fantastic book, but I need someone to go and try it out for me.
Why can't you go yourself?
Oh, no. Travel is not my thing. The food is horrible. The men are often ridden with disease, and the women are always ridden with caution.
Interesting. By the way, Fogg, a telegram arrived for you a moment ago in the lobby.
Oh, really? I'll go and have a look.
Mr. Verne, I believe I have an idea. That gentleman, Mr. Fogg, would be perfect for this little jaunt. He's fast, a free traveller, you know, runs in the family. Wouldn't go if you asked him, of course, but he has one weakness that we might use to persuade him.
And that is?
Now that is, as they say, the kicker, is it not? Here are my terms. If I help you induce him to make your proposed journey, then you will grant me, shall we say, 10% of the profits from your book.
Agreed.
I say, there wasn't a telegram for me.
Oh, how very singular. Never mind. Who's for a game of cards?
Cards? Cards? Yes, I'll play cards with you. Let's play cards, everybody. I'll go first. I call hearts.
Poor old Fogg. He's gagger for cards, aren't you, old chap? Hasn't won a game, though, for... how long would you say, Hermes?
Within living memory.
My luck's bound to change soon, gentlemen.
Uh-huh.
Then let us play.
Pontoon, gin whist, chase an ace, whack a jack.
I was thinking caboodle.
Caboodle.
Caboodle? I don't think I know this game.
Well, let us explain once again for those who are unsure. It really is quite simple. So listen, I implore. Once I have finished, you'll have within your ken the rules of caboodle, the game of gentlemen. Taking from the left, you'll pass 3 unto your right, or 5 unto your partner, unless he's out of sight. Receiving 6 in turn, you can either stick or burn, but only those of value, and only when your turn.
Now, hands of 4 or 6 or 10 are rarely ever seen, and hands of 46 or more are really quite obscene. Dropping some and burning more will leave you with a hand of 4, which really doesn't help you, as you need a 5 to score.
Runs of 2 or 3 or 8 can leave you in a fix, so remember to reverse the flow by laying down a 6. Jokers can be additive, aces can be high, and the Queen of Hearts in certain parts will kiss your hand goodbye.
Caboodle is a regal game played by kings of men. But kings of clubs, now here's the rub, will reverse the flow again. The rules are very simple. It's like falling off a log. Unless, of course, your name happens to be Fogg.
You've got a run of 6 and 4 and then of 3 and 2. There's 3 cards in this pair, and you know what that'll do. Your prior's a catastrophe, your suits are in a mess, and your queens should only move like that if you were playing chess.
Yes, caboodle is a regal game that rarely suffers full, and the mark of a true gentleman is knowing all the rules. We are not suggesting you are not a man of class. It's just that you don't know your caboodle from your...
Got it! I've got rid of my queens. I've got rid of my queens.
No, that's no good. You need a queen and a 3 to finish.
But last time you told me that I didn't need a 3 either. The rules seem to change every time we play.
The rules are very simple, Fogg. The queen makes out for the 3, or can be bobbled if you have a suicidal king. Otherwise, you'll need a 5 and a 7, or a black 2 and a 4 of diamonds.
But I've got that. I have them.
Well, then you've got a caboodle. You know the drill.
Yes, sir, I do. I lay my cards face down on the table, knock twice, and then go stand in the corner and sing My Old Man's a Dustman.
Bingo.
My old man's a dustman, he wears a dustman's hat.
I begin to see what you mean.
10%, remember. Okay, chaps, take what you need. All right? Are you all ready? Yes, good show. Right. Right. Okay, Fogg, you can come back now.
He wears gold-fly-me trousers and he lives in a council flat. Hoi! Right. At long last, after 14 years, I have a caboodle.
And now the betting begins.
Really? I must say, that's very sporting of you. I mean, you know I have a caboodle. I mean, you don't know I have. But you're still willing to place a wager?
Well, what's a game without a little spice, eh?
True, sir, true.
I will bet £5,000.
Me too.
Oh, and me.
So the bet stands at £20,000.
Isn't that a little excessive? We normally play for a penny a game.
Now, inflation hits everything sooner or later, don't you know?
Ah, yes, of course. Well, £20,000 it is. And there you go, gentlemen. A caboodle. I win.
I'm afraid not, Fogg. My hand beats yours.
But I have a caboodle.
Ah, I have a double caboodle.
But I've never heard of a double caboodle.
It's in the rules. Good body, what have you got?
Sorry, chaps. Royal caboodle.
The hell?
Gentlemen, may I present an ultimate caboodle? 17 aces, all of the same suit. Bad luck. So you owe us £20,000. You have got the money, haven't you, Fogg?
Well, yes, of course. I shall immediately repair to the Bank of England and withdraw £20,000. However, I must warn you that I have a daily withdrawal limit of £250 on my account, which means that to withdraw the required £20,000 will take some 80 days.
How very interesting. Well, Fogg, we do have a proposition for you, but no, you never go for it.
Oh, fine.
Well, here it is anyway. As we were saying, Vern here is keen for someone to gather some notes for his forthcoming book, 80 Days Around the World.
No.
No? How do you mean, no?
Are you seriously suggesting that I write post-dated cheques to allow you to withdraw money on my account day by day into a new one whilst I travel round the world taking notes to enable Mr. Vern to write his book, who will thus pay my expenses, and that if I return on the day that the last cheque is cashed, that you will sign the account book back over to me in my name and call off the debt?
In short, yes.
And if I fail?
Then, sir, you will no longer be welcome in civilized society or the Reform Club. You will be a pariah amongst gentlemen. Your house and all of your possessions will be sold, and you will henceforth be deported to Australia.
I see.
There is a train to Dover at 6 p.m. this evening. I've marked your route down in this almanac, and here is a letter of introduction to the English consulate, which I just happen to have with me.
How fortuitous.
Best of luck, Phileas. We shall see you here at 6 p.m. sharp in exactly 80 days from now. You can send the cheques on to us here at the care of the club. Whist, anyone?
Smithers, have you seen my Uncle Desmond?
I believe Lord Halifax is upstairs in the etchings gallery, sir.
Thank you. Upstairs? 20 steps. Oh, God. Landing. 14 steps on this floor. Oh, God. Oh, God. Along the corridor. Oh, dear Christ. Third door on the left and... Uncle! Oh, my actual hell!
Oh, God. What? Oh, thank you, Carstairs. You have saved my life. Again. Had you not resuscitated me here on this very billiard table, I would now be harmonizing with the Qual Eternal.
I endeavour to give satisfaction, sir.
I know this to be true. Now be a good lad and fetch me and my nephew a couple of ports. I'm in need of a restorative.
As sir wishes.
Good Lord, Uncle. This is the third collapse this month. You need seeing to.
The lad speaks the truth. What's the matter, my nephew mine?
All is lost. Uncle, you see a broken man before you.
Nonsense! What's happened?
I have lost home, fortune and reputation on the turn of a card.
Snip me a cigar and elucidate, my boy.
I have been caboodled by a Frenchman.
Go on.
A novelist by the name of Vernard has manipulated me into circumnavigating the globe in 80 days.
Ah, he's at his tricks again. Talked some unwary chap into going to Iceland last year. Poor sod fell into a volcano. We haven't heard of him since. He's an expert in coercion. I'm assuming there were other people present when he nobbled you.
Yes.
Then I'm afraid you are stuck with it.
Oh, God.
Oh, I don't know. I suspect in many ways this may be good for you. In fact, I have something here that will aid you in your quest.
What is it?
It's your father's copy of the Friendless Globe Guidebook. It was sent back along with his possessions after his death in India. I just happened to have it on me.
That sort of thing seems to be happening a lot today. But, my father died in Cheshire.
That's what your mother told you. Your father's death was no boating accident. He was trying to go around the world looking for a new product for his company to make and sell.
What?
No, she didn't want you chasing off in your father's footsteps. You see, that's why she wanted you to stay at home, where she thought you'd be safe. And she selected and trained your nanny to carry on after she went. Adventurous man, your father, nothing like my sister, but I suppose opposites attract.
Your drinks, sir.
Ah, blessings upon you, my dear Carstairs. Now be off with you, nephew, and take the guidebook with you. I have a feeling that this trip will be a turning point in your career.
I thank you, Uncle.
Now, Carstairs, where were we?
I believe you were just about to have one of your turns, sir.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Oh, dear. I'm feeling slightly faint.
And now, the scene shifts to the Paris of the 1800s. Fogg arrives on the boat train from Paddington, and Passepartout wanders with his new master through a simmering cauldron of culture, art, and cuisine, seasoned with Latin temperament and mixed thoroughly with the wooden spoon of joie de vivre.
Now, Passepartout, listen very carefully. I have here a great deal of money in this rather attractive carpet bag. I want you to guard it while I go and procure tickets for Marseille.
How very odd these Englishmen are. Circling the world just for a bet? Not sane and rational like us French chappies. But still, it's so good to be back in my home country, away from the damned English fog that saps the spirit, and your filthy English beer which is like making love in a canoe. I tell you why, but that line has sick mark of pen through it. But there is one thing that I chiefly miss about my home country, as the song I'm about to sing will now demonstrate. There are so many things that remind me of Paris. Les vins, l'amour of Paris. But when I smell the bruit, it's like music to me. Ah oui, fromage d'amour. There are those who would say There's a space I'm a waste of, but they don't understand that it's cheese I want a taste of. I would walk down the Seine again and again to smell fromage d'amour. No, nothing compares to a young Maubière or a Gare de Vieux. But when Noel is maturing, it's not that alluring. The girls run a mile while screaming, Mon Dieu. Oh, but this is alive. It's just me and a Roquefort. Oh, the very idea gives me something to live for. Won't you listen to me as I cry, c'est la vie? Ah oui, fromage d'amour.
Stop singing and follow me.
And so Mr. Fogg and his faithful servant board the Marco Polo at Marseille.
We did indeed. The tickets for the Marco Polo cost my master a mint, but I couldn't complain about the lavishness of our accommodation. Our cabin even had an ensuite sauna, and so we gently steamed across the Mediterranean.
Meanwhile, news of a daring robbery at the Bank of England is spreading via the modern miracle of telegraph throughout the English-speaking world, and also parts of America. We switch the scene now to the quayside of Suez some days later. A man stands watching the passengers disembark. He has hawk-like eyes, a determined posture, and the body of a god, although sadly, in his case, it's Buddha. The man in question is one Detective Fix.
Evening all.
Detective Fix.
Hello, Ambassador.
What are you hanging around the docks for?
Business, sir.
Good Lord. I didn't realise you were that way inclined.
No, sir. I'm on the lookout for a criminal. The Bank of England robbery.
Oh, yes. I read about that in the paper. £55,000 taken. They want to introduce pound coins as a result. They say he could only have carried away 1,000 tops in coins.
I intend to find the man responsible, sir, and bring him to justice. They believe he may have fled overseas.
Detective work. I bagged a criminal once, you know. Yes, over in India. Chap was stealing a melon, as I recall. I did the decent thing and brought him down with my trusty 303. And then they said, do you know what they said? They said, you can't shoot a man for stealing a melon. I ask you. Nonsense, I said. We do it all the time in Bognor. Why should Bombay be any different?
There's no justice, sir.
Justice? I remember when justice was dispensed with a service revolver from a range of about 6 feet. Oh, those days are gone. And as a result, I'm now living out my days in Suez. Suez! Oh, the Catford of the British Empire. Still, must be off. Due for tiffin with the Sultan, don't you know, in half an hour. Oh, take me that long to get me boots off. For some reason, he insists on having me walk around in me socks. More fool him. Toodles walk.
So, that's what the colonies do to you. Who's this coming down the gangplank?
Right. I'm going to go and get the visa stamped. Meet me back on board the Marco Polo in 1 hour. Now, where's that little boy's room?
But sir, are you not going to look around the town?
I've no interest in seeing Suez. According to my father's guidebook, it has long had the reputation of being the Catford of the British Isles. Anyway, our task is to circumnavigate the globe, not examine it. I shall be in our stateroom. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really have to tinkle.
I watched him go with a sigh of relief. We're not really supposed to do that sort of thing into the harbour, not even in Suez, and so he was moved on. I had my own errands at the local native market, and so I headed off in a bazaar direction. I was heading back with a pile of men's underclothing in my arms when I collided with a man. You might say it was a brief encounter.
Watch where you're going, can't you?
I do apologize, sir. I'm trying to adjust the watch I've just bought to the right time, but the hands, they will not turn.
Let's have a look. Right. That's because they appear to be painted on. This is not a watch. It is a snuff box. See? There's snuff inside.
The swine. Well, let that be a lesson. Never trust a shifty-looking, one-eyed man that sweats a lot that's selling a merchandise from a suitcase on the street corner whilst his mate keeps an eye out for the police. Oh, well. You must excuse me, my friend. I have to hurry. My new English master will not forgive me if I'm late. He'll be waiting for me in our stateroom on board the Marco Polo with his large bag of unexplained new banknotes, having hurriedly booked us passage away from London just a few days ago. Bye-bye.
Now you see, that is interesting.
Now, dance with us on wings of thought as we plunge deep into the nethers of the British Raj.
Really?
That's what it says here.
Bombay, what a mix. Such a combination of sights and smells and... Hui, more smells. This is truly the adventure of a lifetime. We're off on the adventure of a lifetime.
Passepartout, what did I tell you would happen if you kept singing at every stop?
You would cut off my travelling allowance.
Exactly so. Right, we are now 2 days, 4 hours and 16 minutes ahead of schedule. See to our train tickets, and I shall go and get my visa stamped to prove our journey's path. I also have this letter from our sponsor. Let's see. Dear Mr. Consul, this is Phileas Fogg, yours, Jules Verne. Right. Well, while you're out, pick us up some clean clothes, would you? Oh, and Passepartout, when you're buying underpants, please try and select a softer material than you did in Suez.
But they were such a bargain.
That's because they were made from Hessian.
The swine. Well, let that be yet another lesson. Never trust a one-armed madman selling merchandise through the bars of his prison cell whilst doing a 7 stretch for aggravated fraud. I shall now go and get the tickets. But, what matters it if I have a little look around, huh? What's the worst that could happen?
And so, of course, 30 seconds later...
Mr. Fogg! You want some of this? Je ne sais pas. Pourquoi? Why not? You
After being chased through the streets by an angry mob, Passepartout manages to make the train by the skin of his teeth. Some hours later, we find them passing through India's passage.
I say, have we stopped?
I'll have a look. Mon Dieu, there is no more track.
What? Nor is there. Well, there you go. You there, railway chappie.
Me, sir?
Yes, we seem to be somewhat short in the track department.
Oh, if you mean that the line has ended, then yes, sir.
Yes. Yes. This absence of track, I suppose, means that from this point on the railway is largely academic?
You need to make your way to platform 2, sir.
Ah, now we're getting somewhere. Grab the luggage, Passepartout. Where is platform 2?
Well, sir, you go down here, sir, and then you turn left, then right, then it's second left, and then you keep going straight on for 200 miles.
I'm sorry, I thought for a moment there you said 200 miles.
Oh, that's right, sir. You can't miss it, sir. There will be a locomotive next to it.
Right. So down here, turn left, then right, then...
then second left, sir.
Second left, and on for 200 miles, and we're there?
Yes, sir. Have a pleasant trip, sir. And thank you for using our new high-speed link, sir.
Ah. So the line is complete, but the platforms happen to be 200 miles apart. Good, good.
What do we do now, monsieur? We need transport, but all the local conveyances are gone.
I'll have a look in the local paper. Right, here we go. Items for sale. 12-year-old yak, low mileage, good condition. Genuine leather exterior. First to see, will buy. 1878 mule, one lady owner, very reliable, would suit first-time buyer. No canvassers, please. No. Indian elephant. In family from you, full history, runs well, walks better, complete with extras including sunroof. May part exchange for camel or similar. Well, that sounds like our boy. Come on, Passepartout.
And so, one elephant later, our heroes make camp for the evening under the jungle moon.
Mr. Fogg.
Yes, Passepartout?
How can you tell when there is an elephant in your tent?
I don't know. How can you tell when there's an elephant in your tent?
When he's eaten your sleeping bag.
Oh, well, calm down, Passepartout. He probably just thinks you're an oversized peanut.
I'm going for a walk.
Suit yourself.
So, I shall go for a walk on my own. In the dark. There's all these snakes and creepy crawlies on my own. Lions and tigers and bears and... Wait, not lions. That would be Africa. Tigers and bears and snakes. Oh, crap. Oh dear, what is this? A barbecue? Let's have a look at the Friendless Go Glad. Let's see. 101 things to do on your own in the jungle with a stick. Cooking gibbons, a beginner's guide. 50 ways to skin a baboon. Marital sacrifice. What monkey? We test drive the top 20 water buffalo. What? Marital sacrifice? What? Oh, mon Dieu. It says here, when a Raja dies, his widow is destined to be cremated with him? This is a rare sight. You are very privileged to witness such an event. Marital sacrifice checklist? Big barbecue? Tick. Dead Raja on top? Yeah, tick. Struggling a gagged widow? Tick. Turn to page 57 to check your scores. 3 ticks Top score, you're watching a marital sacrifice, Mr. Fogg. Mr. Fogg!
Can't talk right now. I'm trying to cook this baboon. Where's that damn handbook?
I have it here, sir. Sir, there's a marital sacrifice occurring. They're going to incinerate her. It says in the book, top score is 3 points.
You have the guidebook there?
Yes, yes.
Excellent. Do I shave the gibbon first, or then stuff it?
But, sir, she will die.
It's dead already, I think. I shot it with an elephant gun.
No, the Indian princess. She's in trouble. She needs someone to save her.
Damsel in distress, eh? Where?
Over there, next to the bonfire, and the large crowd of 500 religious maniacs.
Ah, yes. Quite a few of them, aren't there? Well, back to the gibbon.
Mr. Fogg, we must save her.
Can't hear you. I'm mincing gibbons, don't you know?
Master?
All right, Passepartout. But how are you reckoning on saving her?
Fortunately, Passepartout has a marvelous plan.
Passepartout's plan is indeed possibly one of the most daring and audacious schemes in the history of mankind, requiring nerves of steel, split-second timing, 4 pounds of gunpowder, a hollowed-out monkey, 3 20-foot lengths of seasoned bamboo, and a eunuch who can hit amazingly high sea. Will it work? Will our heroes prevail against overwhelming odds? Or will they end up being minced like a gibbon? Find out in part 2, after a 5-minute interval in which cast and audience are welcome to fortify their nerves with whatever comes to hand. So, everybody apart from cast on mute. Okay. Right. Everyone ready to go, cast? Yeah? I'm going to assume that's a yes. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to part 2 of 8 Days Around the World. When we left our heroes last, they were on the verge of a death-defying rescue attempt, using a plan that weaves back and forth across the line of genius and insanity. And now, thanks to the miracle of radio, we bring you the rescue mission in glorious audio colour. Meanwhile, back at the Reform Club in London.
Got another of Fogg's checks here. That makes check number 23. 23 days out. Where should they be now?
They should be in Calcutta, I think.
What other information can you tell me?
Well, my almanac says it should be sunny and 35 degrees. My astronomical gazetteer says there will be a total solar eclipse at 4:30 in the afternoon, and his horoscope reads, wearing red today will attract fortune as Mars forcibly enters Pluto's house. Remember that openness is the key to sincerity. A rising within Virgo means that you may find your manservant indicted for flagrant disregard of local traditions.
That's unusually specific.
Yes, I thought so too.
Meanwhile, back in India, our heroes have indeed arrived in Calcutta, where Detective Fix has wasted no time in arranging for Passepartout to be arrested for his indiscretions in Bombay.
Oh, but that must be for rescuing me. Oh, I am so sorry for getting you into this mess after you, Mr. Fogg, so bravely risked your neck to free me.
Ah, yes, well...
Oh, you are so very brave and handsome, too. And so clever. That thing with the monkey, who would have believed? And those 20-foot lengths of bamboo. Oh, just the way you managed to wrap
Yes.
Oh, but who will look after Gouda now? Where can she go?
Do you have any family anywhere outside India?
Yes, my uncle lives in Yokohama. Oh, poor Gouda!
Monsieur?
Yes, past two? I was thinking the same thing. What on earth is her uncle doing in Yokohama?
No, monsieur. I was thinking, do we not pass through Yokohama?
Oh, yes! Of course, how fortuitous. It just so happens that we're scheduled to pass through Yokohama on our journey. We'd gladly accompany you to your uncle.
Oh, really? You are so clever to think of that.
Ah, well.
Oh, mon Dieu. Still, things are taking shape now at last, monsieur.
Order. Court will now rise for His Worshipfulness, the Honourable Sir Humphrey St. John Blanket.
Where's that damned French chappie?
Yes, things are taking shape. Unfortunately, they're the shape of a pear.
Clerk of the court, hand me the charge sheet. Dear Lord. Bailiff, pass me my service revolver. I shall be needing it shortly. The prisoner will stand up. Sir, you are accused of a series of crimes of a sinister nature, including sheep baiting, assault with intent to cause malicious umbrage, frolicking in a controlled area, and a series of charges relating to the banned practice of heppelgating. How do you plead, sir?
Confused?
You are Binky Armitage Frobisher Shotweather?
No, sir.
Rigadon Gomez Passepartout.
Yes, that is me.
Gomez!
Good. You are charged with entering a sacred institution. It doesn't specify here whether it was a cow or a temple, but I'm going to assume the latter.
Yes.
Good. Now, you apparently desecrated their place of worship, dishonoured their gods, and caused widespread and considerable offence.
What? I am doing this? But how? Passepartout is an honourable servant. I merely wish to see the wonders of other countries.
Well, next time, take your bloody shoes off. I find you guilty as charged, and I fine you £10.
Aha! Pass me my bag, Passepartout.
However, there is another charge. That of being Frenchman, I find you guilty and subject to 60 days imprisonment.
What? I am being convicted of being a Frenchman? This is a crime?
In certain parts of the British Empire, I'm afraid he's got you banged to rights.
Oh, your worship, please let him go. He saved my life when I was to be burned alive. Please show mercy.
Hello. You're a pretty little thing, aren't you?
Well, please be merciful, my lord. He is to journey around the globe, and this will delay them terribly.
There. Have a hanky. I'm sure we can reach a suitable solution, say, over dinner.
My lord.
Come now, don't be coy. Have dinner with me, and I'm sure we'll arrive at something that fits both of us. What do you say?
Sir, I demand that my manservant be released immediately, or I will bring a higher power to bear.
Oh!
Silence in court! I will not have you disrupt these proceedings with your superstitious nonsense.
Nonetheless, I will call upon my god to influence this matter. My god, gentlemen, is science, and it is more powerful than superstition. Release us now, or I shall extinguish the very sun from the sky!
I imagine that you are referring to the imminent total eclipse. I fail to see how that will help you.
In 3, 2, 1, now!
Ah! Lights! Someone, get some lights! Oh, that's better. Oh, good Lord! The prisoners! They've skedaddled!
Damn it!
As our heroes cheese it through the darkened streets, once more we flip the bird to continuity and bugger off through time and space, spanging down like the pancake of the here and now onto the promenade deck of a steamer to Hong Kong.
Wow.
Yep, FML.
I've never been to Hong Kong. I've only heard about it in stories.
It's an oriental dustbin, I'm afraid.
Oh, Mr. Fogg, look! Oh, this sunset is so pretty. I feel like I'm flying. Oh, let's go to the bows and look out at the ocean.
Certainly not. It's very dangerous. You could slip and fall, and in which case the undertow would drag you beneath the ship, and after a painful death bumping along the hull, your corpse would be minced like a gibbon by the propellers.
Oh, maybe some other time then. Oh, but it's such a lovely evening. Could we watch the sun go down from here?
To what purpose? It'll only rise again in 8 hours and 42 minutes.
Are all Englishmen such machines? Perhaps I should find Passepartout and invite him to go curling with me.
I'm a little uneasy at the thought of you playing with my manservant in public. There are standards to maintain.
Oh, you are impossible. Good day to you, sir.
Women, they're harder than they look. Ah, Passepartout, where have you been?
I've been confined to my cabin for the last 2 days with mal de mer.
You're sick of your mother?
No, monsieur. Mal de mer is sickness of the sea. I've been working it out. And of our 80 days, we spent 65 on board steamers.
66, actually. Anyway, on a serious note, what's up with the princess?
Oh, monsieur, you know.
No, I don't. Otherwise I would have said, hey, Passepartout, guess what's up with the princess? Because I'd already know.
She needs the love and understanding of a good, kind man. Someone much like yourself, monsieur.
Well, that's all very well, Passepartout, but she's acting very peculiarly.
Oh, monsieur, you've had little experience of the fair sex, huh?
Not that it's any of your business, but I have had experience of women. We were allowed to examine one in Eton.
Okay, yes. Now Passepartout understands.
Oh, well, I'm overwhelmed with happiness for you, but seeing as you're unprepared to share your findings with me, I shall go and retire to my cabin.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Hello, monsieur. Do I not recognize you? Suez!
My name is Fix.
I am Passepartout, but what are you doing here?
Well, tell me, can you keep a secret?
No.
Ah. Well, here goes anyway. I'm actually a police officer on the trail of a master criminal.
Oh, this is so exciting. Who is it?
I can't tell you that now. But this is what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to keep your eyes open as to your master's activities and report what he does to me.
Why? You think this criminal might attack Mr. Fogg?
Yeah. Yes, that's it. Don't tell him anything. It would only worry him unduly. And not a word to anyone else, right?
Oui, monsieur.
And now, allow the pink curtains of your imagination to part and to reveal... Oh, my actual God. Do you know what? Hong Kong docks. Live with it.
That's not what it says
Hong
in...
Kong docks.
Hong Kong.
How are we doing for time, monsieur?
We're a tad behind.
What's a tad?
Oh, well, in layman's terms, it's about 4 days, 17 hours and 26 minutes.
Oh.
Well, let's get this over with. I shall go to the consul's office.
Well, I shall go with you.
Oh, do that.
What is this bag?
Oh, sorry, Governor. We're going to unload this ship that's just arrived, from the Calcutta, and put all the bags onto the Carnatic, which is sailing for Yokohama this evening.
But the Carnatic, she sails tomorrow at 9.
No, she sails at 6:30 tonight. That's why we are moving the baggage across now, you see.
No, she sails at 9. Look, I have tickets. Le ticket.
Oh, does she? Well, aren't I the silly one? Here's me rushing about trying to get all this clobber shifted for 6, and for what? Hey? Oh, sorry, lads, my gaff. She's not sailing until... Actually, hold on a second. Just before I dismiss everybody for the evening, you aren't like the captain of this boat, are you?
No.
Oh, right. So, maybe, just maybe, you see, you don't know everything about what this tub's gonna do. Maybe, just maybe, she sails at 6:30 tonight because of the sodding great storm that's coming in that'll shut this port down. As you was, lads. Keep them coming. Now then, is there anything else I can do for you? No? Well, then might I suggest you can bugger off before something like this happens to you?
My face! My gorgeous face!
That
So
old
good. She leaves in 3 hours. My master.
Hello, Chief.
Oh, monsieur, I have to find my master. The boat sails early. It sails tonight, not tomorrow, and he does not know.
Really? Oh, well, pooh.
Yes, you see, all this luggage is being moved now onto the next ship. If my master misses this boat, he will be kept here for weeks.
Oh, that would never do.
What can we do?
Well, I have a blinding idea.
Oh.
You stand here next to this conveniently open crate marked "Do Not Open Till Tokyo" and look over there.
Okay. And now what?
Now, I smack you on the noggin and put you in. Bon voyage, my little French friend.
And so, as the sun's rosy fingers reveal the crack of an oriental dawn coming like thunder, our heroes stand dismayed by a massive gap on the quayside where a steamer once bobbed. Who writes like this?
Oh no, we have missed the boat! Oh, and where is Passepartout?
I can only assume he caught the Carnatic to Yokohama. Either way, we must get to Yokohama as soon as possible.
Is there a problem, sir?
And you are?
My name is Fix. I'm a fellow passenger on the Carnatic.
Yes, well, it appears to have gone off a little prematurely.
Ah, yes. That's happened to me before. And the next steamer won't leave for a week. Oh, dear.
A week? Oh, Mr. Fogg, your quest is lost.
Nonsense, madam. There's always a way. If the gentleman cares to set his mind to it. I will yet carry us safely to Yokohama. Never fear. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to think.
Hello?
No.
Oh, fair enough.
Ha! Good news. I've chartered a sailing dinghy to carry us across the ocean to Japan.
What? A dinghy? Are you insane?
Not at all. The Umkatwa pygmy tribes of the Indus used to sail hundreds of miles in open canoes.
The Catwas. Never heard of them.
Well, they're extinct. Disappeared at sea. But I've read all about them, and I think I have a good idea what went wrong. Follow me.
We're going to die, aren't we?
If we're lucky.
Yokohama. That is all.
Well, looks like we shall have to abandon Passepartout. The steamer for San Francisco sails first thing in the morning, and Fix has searched Yokohama high and low for him.
Oh, yeah. I searched everywhere.
Oh, Mr. Fogg, poor Passepartout.
Well, we can't search for him any further. He knows our itinerary. If he can, he'll join us.
Yep. He'll have to stay here and rot. I don't want him to come back here telling you stories about stuff that probably never happened anyway. So, there it is. Black and white. Clear as day. Never a truer word. Off to the bar.
Oh, very bizarre.
And my poor uncle.
I know. To spontaneously combust like that for no readily apparent reason. Damn odd, but it paved over a plot hole. And of course you're welcome to come with us to England.
Oh, thank you. You are so gallant. This is a nice place.
Yes, it's mentioned in my father's Friendless Global Guidebook. It's famous for its fabulous entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and take them apart again in rapid succession for tonight's star act, the lady who needs no introduction, the enchantress of the Orient, the Madonna with the voice of a siren, possibly an air raid one, Passepartout.
I wanna be loved by you.
Passepartout!
Master? Princess?
Passepartout.
Oh, Passepartout. What? Why are you wearing nothing but a feather boa and a come hither smile?
To the steamer!
A few days later, our heroes are tossing in the Pacific aboard another steamer. Speaking of steamers.
Dear Diary, Day 63. We dock tomorrow at San Francisco, precisely on schedule. This voyage has been one of discovery for all of us. I have discovered that women are strange and beautiful creatures who are quite outside my understanding. The Princess and I have taken to promenading on the deck of an evening. She's singularly pleasant company, which is more than I can say for us men. It has been our habit to travel light in only the clothes we stand up in. However, 22 days on a hot, cramped steamer has led us to abandon the iron for a toffee mallet. Regards, Philly.
Like an ironclad whale, the steamer vomits forth our heroes, Jonah-like, onto the soil of the New World. Hilarity ensues. If anyone wants me, I'll be in the bar.
Excuse me there, my good chap. Could you direct us to the railway station? Our connection to New York leaves this very evening in a little under 17 minutes.
Yeah, mister, there ain't no trains go to New York. The trains have all been delayed due to snow on the line.
Snow on the line? How much snow?
Around 4 million tons. There was an avalanche in Colorado.
Well, there you go. Is there any other way of getting across America?
Well, not until now, sir, but as it happens, I'm working on a mode of transportation that will revolutionize this country. Yes, indeedy. I call it the semi-automated, internally combustible horseless mobilizator, the Model S. It's like a carriage, but, sir, there ain't no horses.
But, what use is that?
Sir, with my invention, you do not need horses. I use an intricate piece of machinery known as the infernal combustion engine. You do not need to stop or rest or let it eat. Just fill the integral capacity with premium or unleaded gasoline, and sir, why, you could make it from here to the eastern continental United States in less than a month.
And what do you intend to do with this Model S semi-automated, internally combustiolated horseless mobilizer, sir?
Sir, you do have a memory for the details. I intend to build a factory and sell these little beauties all across this fine country. I'm going to name them after myself, too. Yes, sir, 30 years from now, there won't be a household in these United States that doesn't own at least one Henry.
I'll give you $1,000 if you'll get me to New York in a week.
Whoa, sir, my old ears must be deceived me. I thought I heard you say New York in a week.
$2,000, my final offer.
Damn, sir, you drive a hard bargain, but I'm going to have to accept your generous offer. I'll be ready to leave this evening. I'll have the Model S ready in time for tea.
The road trip that now follows is one of the most audacious ever attempted on radio. There are frequent instances of graphically described violence, adult situations, some slightly sexy scenes, and other scenes where the listener will be forced to count the legs and divide by 2. Parents of young children are advised to take the usual precautions to prevent any more. Box of New York.
Hang on. My script has gone from page 48 to page 73. What's happened to America?
Yeah, same here.
It's gone.
Oh dear, you mean you're going to have to skip my nude scene?
Aha! I told you not to let Linda send out the PDF of the final script.
She never liked that incredible airtight princess thing we did in Chicago.
No, all the bit with the ping pong balls.
Huh.
Well, I just feel sorry for the audience. America was the best bit of the show. The rest is pretty much filler.
Oh well. Anyway, moving on. The docks of New York and everything that implies. Our heroes arrive just in time to watch the dwindling ship of their appointed boat as it puffs towards the horizon.
Son of a bitch!
Mr. Fogg!
Oh, sorry, Princess. I appear to have picked up a bit of the local lingo. Passepartout, when and if we ever get home, you and I are going through the whole house, room by room, and destroy every clock with a lump hammer. Ah, Mr. Fix, any luck?
Just found out from that dockyard guy that there are no boats going to Liverpool for a week.
But we need a boat to leave today, or we are le-humped.
Precisely. Therefore, Passepartout and Fix, I shall require you to find a fast boat with a drunken captain and an easily bribable crew.
Too close to England after all our travels. Will I like it there?
I suppose so. I dare say you'll find some nice prince and he'll show you around the sights and...
But could you not show me?
I'd be honoured to. But alas, I will reach England a broken man.
I do not care if you are poor. I was a princess, you know, but I would be willing to accept a humbler position if it meant my heart was in better hands.
I confess I can be a little pompous at times.
Oh, nonsense. You are completely pompous all of the time.
We found one!
Great! Bloody marvellous!
Ah.
One hectic and violent... One hectic and violent mutiny amidst the salty spume of the Atlantic later, our heroes make landfall in the fair city of Liverpool, I'm not furlong now, folks. This will soon be just a distant and horrible memory.
The 80th day.
Oh, England at last!
We still have a few hours to spare. To the station!
Not so fast. Mr. Phileas Fogg, I arrest you in the name of the law on the charge of theft from the Bank of England on the 20th of October last year.
Are you on purpose, sir?
Well, this is the joke, yes? The famous English wind-up?
Madam, I wish it were. After all our travels and shared hardships, it is difficult for me to do this.
You've got the wrong man, Fix. If you make this mistake, it will cost me dearly. You know that.
Monsieur, let me fight for you.
No one fights an Englishman's battles for him, Passepartout, with the possible exception of the Scots, the Irish, and sometimes the Nepalese.
This way, sir.
All is lost! Howls and sobs!
No, that's a stage direction.
Oh, I did wonder.
"183 miles to the southeast as the crow flies, when it can be bothered. Gentlemen are gathered in the smoking room of the Reform Club, watching the clock tick away the last few seconds of Fogg's challenge."
Well, looks like Fogg has,
Good evening, gentlemen. Not late, I trust.
Bugger me.
An interesting journey, gentlemen. You're welcome to examine my journal. It might amuse you.
You mean it is all here for me to use in my book? Oh, huzzah! Oh, let's see. Fantastic! But hang on. This is day 81 according to your journal.
It's the 80th day for you, gentlemen, but not for me. You see, travelling east, we picked up a little time travelling towards the sunrise through the different time zones. Now, I've got a handout.
That's in my book.
Which will explain the maths to you. If you could take one and pass it on. Yes, well, pass it on. Keep going. Yeah, that's lovely. Only one each. Thank you.
Fogg, you are back but no richer than before. I'm afraid you have gained nothing from your travels. Indeed, you have lost, as in your absence, your house has exploded for no apparent reason.
Boom!
Fantastic.
How odd. I've gained nothing, you say? Princess?
Good Lord, a woman? And she's in the club?
What?
Oh, no. I meant she's here, inside the Reform Club.
Oh, I see. Well, Smythe, my journey did have a purpose. It has allowed me to return here and truly see it for the first time. This was not a life. This was a dark place in which to hide. The house was no better, full of clocks measuring waste of life. But now, with its destruction, I'm free! Free! And so, Smythe, I think perhaps I have gained something after all!
Excuse me, sir, but there are a number of people who urgently want to see you.
To see me?
Yes, sir. There's a large party of Indian gentlemen outside the front door who demand the return of a princess they believe it is in your possession, sir.
Ah.
Fogg, what exactly have you been up to overseas?
Well,
There are also a number of policemen who want to talk to you.
Now, if that's about the robbery, I was acquitted.
Robbery?
No, sir. This is about a mutiny aboard a cargo ship. Apparently, you had a number of crew members executed as a lesson to the rest.
What?
Ah, yes, that.
There is also your ex-landlord, a party of incensed Japanese, a representative of the Gibbon Preservation Society, and 3 judges from the Swan Awards.
Dear God.
It's always the quiet ones.
Monsieur, what do we do?
If we leave by the back door, we can make the 7 o'clock boat train to Dover. Let's see how far these gentlemen are willing to go. What do you think, Passepartout?
I've always had the desire to see Africa, sir.
My lady?
Oh, anywhere with you, my dear Phileas.
Then it's settled. See you later, chaps.
Excuse me, sir, but what shall I tell the various enraged mobs at the door, sir?
You can tell them that they've just missed us, and that we're off on a journey of a lifetime.
You have been reluctantly listening to 80 Days, the radio show. A smile, a song, and a restraining order. You have heard the questionable vocal talents of Tim Williams, Peter Bammer and Cameron-Burnett, Tony Cottrell, Linda Limber, Laurie Coombs, Liz Smith, Kirk Johnson, Chris Hodges, Toby Vennard, Paul Huggins and Jenny Trickett, with Mandy Gasson as director and Karen Hayworth-Taylor as the valiant Foley artist. Thank you and good night.